12 Mbs first semester managerial communications. Unit 3 writing letters, memo, email, and instant message. Chapter 9 writing native message. Group B analytical questions. 2022 April question number 3. Imagine that you are the president of the student club or some other campus group that is unaffiliated with any larger national or international organization. It can be any type of organizational, recreational, charitable, academic, cultural, professional, or social. But try to use a real organization even if you aren't a member. You have just received a message from someone who is the president of a similar club in another college or university, postponing to form a national or national structure or proposal as some applying aspects including unified branding and requiring the opportunity to share best practices and the chance to socialize with and learn from like-minded students across the country. However, after talking it over with some of your members, you decided it's not right for you. You believe that the times, trouble, the cost and being part of our nation's nation would outweigh the benefit it could offer. Write an email response. Prioritize decline and the offer. Answers from Madan Chaudhary @gmail.com to Simran Thapa @gmail.com. Subject decline the offer. I am very pleased to get your response and interest on our students club as you know. We are situated in an out-strict area of Kathmandu Valley where different disadvantaged groups children are having their academic session. We are practicing different income generating activities for the peoples. They are even learning their practical lives. We are spending 2 days every week in the local area village for the field work. As we have a local student and they have their house work and works in field for farming, and they enjoy to work in their field for farming. By this they are doing this their work and completing their household working. As far as your proposal is concerned, being a president of such student club, I think I am unable to accept your proposal to make it country-wide, since most of the university campus college are in the city area and they have temporary residents in the cities, so they would not enjoy such practical activities every week. I think it is right for me to accept your proposal for branding my student club nationwide. I even had a meeting with my club members. We do not have the convenience on this. The times, trouble, and cost of being part of the club to you would not so much benefit for your organization, university, and students club. So hereby I decline your offer. Thank you, Madan Chaudhary, President, Student for Study and Practice Club. To you. Question number 21 April. Question number 4. Assume the role of the Vice President of Operation for Color Cosmetics, small manufacturer of Balaju, Kathmandu, on of your college Clusius from the local chamber of commerce. Dr. Mingmor Tamang has written asking whether your firm can provide a summer internship in your department for the sons Pranaya, a BBA 8 semester student who is interested in manufacturing career. Color and Cosmetics has no provisional for temporary summer employee and does not currently operate an internship program. Also, the factory is shut down for a 2-week vacations every July. Write a letter to the Dr. Mingnamor explaining why you are unable to provide a summer internship to her son Parnaya. Answer. Kathmandu 31 Plazu, Kathmandu, Nepal 2021 5 21. Dear Migmar, first of all, I would like to congratulate Purnaya for his previous studies. Since we haven't met for a long time, I didn't know he has been doing his eighth semester. I feel very proud that you remember me when you really need my help. I come to know that you want Parnaya to complete a summer internship from our Kolar Cosmetic, as you are also the responsibility person from your local chamber. You know the formalities and cannot go beyond the broad decisions. I am extremely sorry to share with you about our decisions. Our company has no provision for temporary summer employees and does not currently operate an internship program. And more than that, the factory shut down for a 2 week vacation every July. The message might depress you, but I can do nothing further accepting the internship student. I hope you understand my limitations. I would certainly be happy to help you in personal level. Please convey my love to Parnaya. Your truly Mahendra Sharma, Vice President, Kolar Cosmetic, Balaji, Kathmandu. Question number 3, 2029. 2019. Question number 4. Gautam Associate Series Teku Kathmandu has been offering to service its service for the last 10 years. Some things the company received old company and it is not easy to pursue the client. We received on the companies for Mr. Ramananda Singh on 20 July 2019. Ramananda purchased new rims for his car from your tire stores several months ago. He paid for the rims when he ordered them because they were a special order. The rims arrived after a month and were mounted on the wheels. 3 days later, the customer returned complaining that the car vibrated when he drove over 60 kph. The tire store balanced the wheels at no change to the charge to the customers. The some vibrations problem happened two more times, and the tire store balanced the tire it no change each time. After the car experienced the some problem again, the customer became very upset and asked for a cash refund for the rims because they didn't fit his wheels and provide us a smooth ride even though they were custom made. Your company does not offer cash refund now. Respond to your client including the information and offering the alternative along with your organizational plan. At first, sketch outlines for the response including buffering, reason, bad news and positive close, and then write the letters. July 20, 2019. Mr. Ramananda Singh, Kirtipur, Das Naya Bazar, Kathmandu, Nepal. Dear Mr. Singh, thank you for your letters about the complaint regarding the rims that your purchase from your company. We are here to serve you for your great satisfaction. You bought the rims from the company and use them with full utilization since you had bought them several months ago. We don't have any mandatory to return them with cash in hand, as the rims are mounted on the rims once can't be taken back, and the car might have the vibration because of the other case, and the rims with an extra order mightn't work as it should have done. We can provide you maintenance service as long as you came to us for it. It is our pleasure to serve you most. You are extremely sorry that we cannot return that or replace it with another after such a long time. Yes, certainly we can provide you some more percentage of the discount buying a new one. We cannot take any warranty once it is fitted on the wheels. We believe we have produced a best product. We appreciate for your concern and hope to be with you ever in further future. Best wishes for your better riding. Sincerely, Smriti Bhattrai, Customer Service Manager, Gautam Associates, Kathmandu 13, Teku, Kathmandu, Nepal. Question number 4, code 29, 19. Back question number 3 or Karvab. Rimal is one of the best employee in your department. Smart and hard worker with a keen mind for business. His upbeat attitude has helped the entire department get through some rough times recently. And on a personal level, his wise counsel help you grow into a leadership role when you were promoted to marketing manager several years ago. You generally welcomes Rimal's input on the department operation, and you have implemented several of his idea to improve the company's marketing effort. However, the personal he emailed you yesterday was not his best work, to put it mildly. He proposed that the company drop the advertising agency it has used for a decade and replaced it with some new agency you are never heard of. The one reason he offered were that the agency had become unresponsive and that a similar agency could meet our needs better. He failed to address any of the other criteria that are used to selected advertising agencies, such as cost, corrective skill, technology, technical abilities, and geographical reach, research capability, and media experience. That this is the first you have heard any criticism of the agency, and it in fact their work was help your company increase sales every year. Right response to Karpia Rimal's rejecting his proposal. Question answers August 21 2019. Mr. Kabir Rimals, Kathmandu to Kamalaradi. Subject rejection letter. Dear Rimal, thank you for your proposal. You emailed me yesterday about the marketing effort. The proposal you emailed we raise only reason for the replacement of the advertisement agency that we have by the never on New Year on. As you now, you are the best supported marketing manager of the company. Whatever you have bought up to now, highly supported. I don't think we did any mistake. Rather, you are best known for it. I hope you are bearing the other case for replacing the prevailing on the proposal should be clear about the other category. The proposal has failed to address other case and category that are used to select advertising agencies, such as vast corrective skill, technical ability, geographical reach, research capability, and media experience. I know you have now about the older on support and their work help our company increase sales every year. I do not want to discourage similar agency could meet our need better, but there should be the appreciated case to discounting the prevailing on. So we work for better, not for the never on. Sincerely, Navin Changrana, manager. Publication Department, Nepal, Traveler, Kathmandu, Nepal. Question 5, 2014. Question number 4. Bindu Joshi, a smart and hard worker with a keen mind for the business. It is one of the best employee in your department. His upbeat attitude has helped the entire department get through some rough time recently, and on a personal level, his wise counsel helped you grow into a leadership role. When you were promoted to marketing manager several years ago, you generally welcomes Joshi's input on the department operations, and you have implemented several of his idea to improve the company's marketing effort. However, the proposal he emailed you yesterday was not his best work, to put it mildly. He proposed that the company drop the advertising agency it has used for a decade and replace it with some new agency you have never heard of. The reasons he offered were that the agency had become unresponsive and that a similar agency could meet our need better. He failed to address any other criteria that are used in the selection of advertising agencies, such as cost, creative skill, technical abilities, geographical reach, research capabilities, and media experience. This is the first you have heard my criticisms of the agency. And in fact, no, their work has helped your company increase sales every year. Draft an email to Joshi rejecting his proposal from John T. Preden. Please @gmail.com to Bindu Joshi @gmail.com. Subject rejecting the proposal. Dear Joshi, it is obvious that you are a very responsible employee of our company. Your smart and hardworking nature has always been an advantage to our company. The keen mind of our business has always been used by our department too. We have always welcomed your corrective suggestion too. But as far as the reference of the proposal you sent us yesterday is concerned, we have some reservations from our side. We had to think twice before we reject the previous advertising agency. The agency has been serving us for more than a decade. To replace the previous one by a new one is a challenge. Surely the reasons you being had become unresponsive might be true and true, but the agency has the wide range of reputation and it support us too. The new and similar agency could meet our need better, but it is not sure to meet our needs. The previous agency understand our needs too. We are very sorry because we can't accept the newer agency for an established company. Certainly, we can change the one if we have much criteria to change it, and there are certain criteria to select an advertising agency, such as cost, creative skill, technical abilities, geographical reach, research capabilities, and media experience. We cannot change the advertising agency. Rather, we might advise and draw the agency attention for its irresponsible behavior. Thank you, Jonathan Friendage. Concept-based answer question. What do you understand by negative message? What are the five goals of negative message? Through negative messages are unfriendly to share, but we will have to share on when come to news at many points in our career. Communicating negative information is a fact of life for all business professionals, whether it is saying no to a request, sharing unplacement or unwelcome information, or issuing a public apology. Negative message have the challenge to maintain the good image after the message too. Here are five goals to negative message. First of all, give the bad news. Second, ensure acceptance of the bad news. Third, maintain the organizational good image. Fourth, maintains and eliminated further future corrupt response on the matters is appreciated. Maintain the reader's good will. Question number 207, question 223, question number 8. What kinds of messages are written from a direct approach? Give an example of a message written with a direct approach. Answers. While writing the persuasive or positive message, we use the direct approach. The message, like a recommendation or conclusion or a request to the direct method, is applied. In this method, we start with the main idea, and the idea is followed with the supporting evidence. The direct approach makes the audience as instant, pleased, or natural. The opening message might be a request or good news. The message needs the necessary details, and the message is closed with a cordial comment or reference to the good news, or a statement about the specific action desired. Here in an example of a message in direct approach. Hello everyone. At last week's offsite meeting, Charles asked me to coordinate our company competitive threat analysis project in order to devise a comprehensive static response that is the sensitive to the local market variations. We need your individuals instant and advice to maximize the effect for you and to the ensure consistent data collections across regions. I have attached a template that identify all the key questions we had like to have answered. I realize this will require several hours of work and your parts, but the result will be a true nationwide look at your competitive association. From this information, we can create a plan next fiscal year that makes the best use of the finite resources while adapting to your local district needs. To allow sufficient time to comply your input before the November 13 board meeting. Please email your response to me by November 8. Thanks for your help and timely attention to this important project. Helena H. Julius, Director, Static Alternatives. Question number 22, April question number 9. Enumerated that way you write a negative message following indirect approach and briefly explain each of the issue. The indirect approach helps readers prepare for the bad news by presenting the reasons for it first. However, the indirect approach is not meant to obscure bad news, delay it, or limit your responsibility. The purpose of this approach is to essay the below and help readers accept the situation when done poorly. The indirect approach can be disrespectful and even unethical. The following are the indirect approach for the conveying negative news. First, opening with a buffer message. Using the indirect approach, open with a buffer or natural, non-controversial statement that establish common ground with the readers. Second, providing reason and additional information and idea explanations. Selection leads readers to the conclusions before we came right out and say it. Fly giving the reasons effectively, we help maintain focus on the issue at hand and diffuse the emotions that always echo funny signification bad news. Third, counting with a clear statement of the bad news. Handle bad news by first of all without traveling it or withholding any important information. Be subordinated bad news in a complex or composed sentence. Third, embed bad news in the middle of a paragraph or use present ethical expressions. Fourth, closing and respectful note. As in the direct approach, the close in the indirect approach offer an opportunity to emphasize the respect for the audience. Even though we have just delivered unpleasant news, we have to maintain positive close by bounding goodwill, offering suggestions for action, and provide a look towards the future. 9. Question number 2016 mock-up question number 9. Explain the importance of maintaining high standard of ethical and etiquette when delivering negative messages. All business messages demand attention to the ethic and etiquette of our course, but this consideration take on special importance when we are delivering bad news. First, many business messages cannot be made public. Second, negative message can be of significant negative impact on the receivers, even if the say is conveyed legally and constitutionally. Good ethical practice demand the care and sensitively thought senders needs to manage the emotional and consider the emotional state of their audience. The challenge of the sending and receiving negative message fosters a tendency or delay, downplay, or distort the bad news. In many cases, the problem might be of the slow, incomplete, or inaccurate communications between the company and the and our external stakeholders. Sharing bad news effectively require commitment from everyone in the organization. Employee who observe the unethical or illegal behavior within their company and are unable to resolve the problems through normal channel may have no choice but to resort the wastage bullying, expressing their concern internally through company but hotlines or externally through social media or the news media if they perceive no other options. As a communicator, we have a responsibility to minimize the negative impact of our negative message through careful planning and sensitive adjectives writing. We close on a respectful note by expressing best wishes without being falsely positive. Question number 2015. Question number 10, explain how to use the indirect approach effectively when conveying negative news. Answer. The indirect approach helps readers prepare for the bad news by presenting the reasons for of it first. However, the indirect approach is not meant to observe bad news to delay it or to limit your responsibility. The purpose of their approach is to prepare the readers to accept the situation. The properly done approaches may create disrespectful and unethical situation, but well done well maintained the attentions to ethics and etiquette. Negative message may create the negative response to the situation, but the indirect approach will help to maintain the environment healthily to accept the bad news. Here are some approaches to convey the negative message effectively. Opening with a buffer. We can open the message with a buffer of naturals, no controversial statement that establish common ground with the readers. A good buffer can express the appreciations for being considered. A poorly written buffer might trivialize the reader's concern, divert attentions from the problem with insincere, falsely or irrelevant materials, or mislead the readers into thinking our message actually contain good news. Poorly written buffer may mislead or insult the readers. Second, providing reason and additional information. When the readers get the negative message, the further seek the explanations and ideal explanation sections lead readers to the conclusions before we can write out and say it. We can respond by starting with the mass positive points first and move forward to increasingly negative ones. The reason must be detailed, tactful, and individual, positive and unapologetic. Third, connecting with a clear statement of the bad news. We can handle a bad news with three techniques. Emphasize the bad news visually and grammatically. Use a conditional statement. Tell what you did and you didn't do. It should not delicious bad news when the emphasize the positive, withholding negative information or over emphasizing positive. Information is unethical and unfair to your readers. We have to be sure to avoid overly blunt statements that are likely to cause pain and anger. Question number IB. Closing in a respectfully note. The close in the indirect approach offer an opportunity to emphasize the respected for the audience, even though it is just delivered on as pleasant news. A positive close build goodwill, offer a suggestion for action, provide a look towards the futures. The guidelines for the conclusion are to avoid negative conclusion, manage further correspondence, optimistic about the future, and be sincere. 11. 2015 mock-up. Question number 7. Describe the successful strategies for the sending negative employment related message. A manager must have to convey bad news about or to individual employee for From time to time, the message might be of after refusing requested for the employee and recommendations letter, refusing social networking recommendation request, rejected job application, giving negative performance review, and terminating employment. The strategy might be as follows: to put the negative news quickly at first, use the passive sentence to dispersonalized, avoid explaining about rejection, positive tone, negative message, polite close. The later message must have been include positive comment about the reader's recent activity, imply the refusal, suggestion, and alternative, and use a polite close. We can write verify statement, even just a single sentence that focus on positive aspects. Sometimes the negations of the request must might be an appreciated solution for the social networking recommendation request, to put the bad news quickly in the opening. Using the passive sentence to the depersonalize the decision might be another strategy for sending negative employment related message. Avoid explaining about the rejection or the setting about the review in the future. We need to state document performance problem, evaluate the employees right in claim of the objection wise, keep the job description up to date, but for terminating employment, and try to deliver the letter in person and the relationship and terms as positive as possible. 12. How do you social networks make the positive requesting and gathering or dining recommendations both easier and more difficult? Answer: one of the greatest value offered by business social network is the opportunity for the members to make introductions and recommendations. However, the situation with recommendations in social networking environmental is more complicated than with a traditional recommendation letter, because the recommendations you make became part of our online profile. With a traditional letter, only a few hiring managers might read the recommendations, but on a network, other networks, members can see whom you have recommended and what you are written those people. Moreover, networks make it easily to find people and requested recommendations, so chance are we will get more requested than we would have otherwise, and sometimes from other peoples you didn't know well. Fortunately, social network gives you a bit more flexibility when it comes to responding to those requested. One option is to simply ignore or delete for the request. Some people make it personal policy in ignore request for a networker then they don't know. Of course, if we know a person inquiring a requested could create an uncomfortable situation, so we will need to decide each case based on the relationship with the requester. Another opinion is to refrain from making recommendations at all, at just letting people know this policy when they ask. If you choose to make recommendations and want to respond to a request, you have right as much as or as little information about the personal as you have comfortable sharing. Unlike in offline recommendations, you don't need to write a complete letter. We can write a barrier statement, even just a single sentence that focused on positive aspect. The flexibility allows you to respond positively in those situations in which you have mixed feeling about a personal or real abilities. Question number 13. Explain how to use the diary approach effectively with conveying negative news. Answer: the use of the direct approach is conveying the negative news is an alerted beginning. It opens with the bad news. It proceeded to the reason for the situation or the decisions, and end with a positive statement aimed Maintaining a good relationship with the audience. Certainly, beginnings with the bad news have two advantages. First, it makes the message as short as possible, and second, the audience get the message in the less time. We make the point to make the approach. Opening with a clear statement of the bad news. We need to be clear to state the bad news in the beginning. Second, providing reason and additional information. The amount of detail we provide depend on the knowledge of the audience. And third, closing on a respectful note. After revealing the negative message, we need to close the message in a manner that respected the impact the negative news is likely to have on the receiver. So in the other situation, an important aspect of the respectful close is describing the actions being taken to avoid similar mistake in the futures.